Welcome, everybody. I am Kenya Gibson, and I am here with the queen of hair herself, Jessica Dupart. How are you today, Miss Lady?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I tried to get my hair like really in a good position because I know you're like the hair connoisseur. So I hope I did okay. I actually it's a little frizzy today.
I love
Um,
foolishness though, so I'm for it.
so
I'm for it.
maybe you can give me some hair care tips because I've gone natural the past, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, and it's been a journey, but we'll talk all about that. But before we get into any hair care and products and so on and so forth, I read so much about you and what you've been able to do in the hair space and in the industry. And, I read an article on you in She magazine, and they've called you, the queen of hair, right? So how does that feel to be deemed that?
Oh wow. Well, I don't even know if I've accepted that crown, but it's a huge compliment. I think what sets me apart from a lot of people in the hair industry is my disruptive marketing and my the way that the consumers kind of connect. And then I started off as a hairstylist, so I think there's a lot of personability. That's a word, because of that.
For sure, because you have the education and that background. I was reading your story and you remind me of a woman by the name of Madam CJ Walker. Has anyone ever said that to you before?
That is, yeah, that's like a big compliment. Like when that movie came out, I'm telling you, we watched it in the theater. I was, I was so excited about that and understanding the story of it, and then watching it, seeing that it was just leveraging marketing that connected with me as well. I know a lot of people, when you mention Madam CJ Walker, it's very controversial because then they speak about the other person that I guess doesn't get as much recognition as other people will want them to. But at the end of the day, you have one name that you remember, and it's because of the way she leveraged her marketing.
1,000%, and the fact that she was, I believe she was the first Black, not just Black woman millionaire, she was the first Black millionaire, which as a woman during that time, I mean, the fact that, I mean, we weren't even allowed to work traditional jobs at that point, but the fact that she was able to leverage and build this platform and give other women an
Right,
opportunity to build their own, like it just is a testament to itself. But
right,
I
right.
read her story and I was like, that's you. You're the modern day her.
Oh, that's some big shoes to fill, but I take that as a big compliment. So thank you.
You're very, very welcome. So I want to get into a little of your story. You said you were a hairstylist, and then how did this evolve into this whole like hair care line? Because you got a lot of great stuff going on.
Thank you. First of all, this isn't what I planned for my life. Let me say that first and foremost. As a kid, I did play in hair a lot, so I did see myself doing hair, but I did not see myself from stepping behind a chair. In 2014, I launched Kaleidoscope hair products and was able to fully understand social media marketing. I was kind of fearless with my marketing strategies and my creativity. So I was able to be in front of a whole bunch of eyes, which caused me to have to move from behind a chair. I mean, I was making well into the six figures a month and still was doing hair because that's all I knew. That's all I was used to. And I loved it. I absolutely love my customers. I love my clients. Some of them still reach out to me and say that they miss me. But the Kaleidoscope hair products was taking such a big turn on their climb that it needed me more so in the CEO position than it was in me being in the service industry.
That's amazing. So let's talk about the marketing for a second, because I feel like that's a rut that a lot of entrepreneurs and businesses get stuck in. Like, what are some tips and some strategies, like if you're small and you're just starting out, that you would recommend for someone to really get their branding and their awareness out there? They might not have a lot of money, but where's a good place for them to start?
First and foremost, I think comparison has a lot of people scared. A lot of people see that, hey, this person is selling 1 million products in a year and you're on day 35. That person is on day 3035. So I think comparison has a lot to do with the fear of entrepreneurs. But as far as marketing and getting yourself out there, I always tell people stay within the personality of who they are. When you stay within the personality of who you are, nobody can be you. Nobody can be a duplicate of you. So if you stay within that personality and understand your own language, when you're speaking to people, you can verbalize anything to your audience. And then you will build a community around what you stand for, as opposed to doing something just strictly for monetization reasons. And then you always have to go back to something that you're not used to. So that's just my personal advice. I've been on Clubhouse a lot lately, and I've been learning so much from so many different entrepreneurs. So it's sometimes me speaking my opinion. I speak my opinion, but then I think in the back of my head of when I was in a room with somebody that learned how to do learn how to monetize outside of what their personality is. So
Is it the $1 million mindset? Was that your Clubhouse?
Yeah, that was mine.
I saw that. Yeah, Clubhouse is a great tool. I've been on there a lot as well and learning a lot of information. It's crazy, right? Like
it is. When I tell you, it's crazy and very humbling. Because I've been in a room where it's a whole bunch of people that want to learn from somebody that's seen $1 million, but then I've been in a room and you've only seen 50. Oh shit,
right. Right.
Sorry. Right.
So,
but it's never offensive. I'm big on understanding that education is something that's nonstop. Even on my climb on the way up, I try to link myself with people that I can learn from, and not necessarily people that we were on the same walk of life, but I want somebody far different. I want somebody that understands the demographic of my customers, so I know how to communicate with them. I know how to communicate with my customers. Somebody that understands social media marketing, or somebody that I can pour into and that can pour into me.
Yeah, that's smart. That's a smart approach, because we don't know everything, right? So I think the people that thrive in life are the ones that surround themselves by a lot of different people who know a lot of different little things, and you pull all that information together and you make it work for yourself.
Correct.
So that's so true. So I want to talk a little bit about personality, because you mentioned that, and if you had to describe the personality of your brand, how would you describe that?
Well, we're known for hair growth. So I try to tiptoe into the conversation that a lot of people are scared to talk about, like alopecia, or, with hair loss with a lot of these people with YouTube videos. So I find that my personality kind of light, funny, and relatable. So more so, I don't mind saying that, hey, I use the hairstylist out here, they colored my hair wrong, and shit, my hair got that long. So
Right.
Some people might find that that's embarrassing, but I try to make it a safe space for people to be themselves, whatever that looks like. Whether it's you have a full flourishing head of hair, or if you have hereditary alopecia that everybody has had, a receding hairline, I just want for everybody to feel okay that you could be yourself. So.
Right. No, and that's a safe place to be, especially when it comes to your hair. As a woman, I mean, you understand better than anybody. Like, this is our you said it, our crown of glory, right? So it's like we let me tell you something. When my hair is not right, I just don't even feel like I'm the same person.
Right. No, I'm with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not picking up a FaceTime sometimes, but I probably put a bonnet on.
Yeah, right. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So let's talk about some of the products. So what are your top selling products?
Our hero SKU is the Miracle Drops. We do have 3 variations of it. We have original, and then we have extra strength and coconut. Original is the one that took off. When I first launched, it was 4 products. Miracle Drops was the very last one that I launched, and it wound up being the hero of everything, because it's universal. It's men, women, it's all ethnicities. And a lot of people do deal with hair loss, or a lot of people just want thicker hair, longer hair. So we have that, but then we are adding to the line, we are adding a whole miracle line this year. So we're adding shampoos, conditioners, hair gels, hair creams. We already have the Miracle Edges, which is the edge control that has a growth agent in it.
Nice. And then as far as men, like, what is that conversation with men in hair?
It's not, I think men don't really, to be honest with you, it's not as much of a concern. Like a man will get in the shower and wash his hair with the soap that he washes his body with.
Right.
So, just the average man. We tiptoed into the men's section, and we played with it a little bit. I didn't want to invest too much of my time or energy towards it because the sector of it is not as paid attention to as the female sector. And we do a lot of premium products. So having a premium men's product makes it very, 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 very niche. Very, very niche. And when I do my marketing, I like to do broad, full out productions. So I just don't want to limit myself to that by, continuing on to have a premium men's product that is niche.
That's super smart, because I think a lot of business owners, especially in the beginning stages, like they try to kind of be all things to all people, and instead of like, it's like pick a lane, right? Stay in it. And that's where you're going to, thrive and see growth.
And you can grow from it. But I think with what understanding, I learned in 2020 a lot of stuff. So picking up on the data and understanding that men might be 3% of 100%, and women are like 70%, and then stylers are 40% of the, like it just makes no sense. Not saying, hey, don't pay attention to them, but when you're talking about a product line that's known for having premium stuff, you going into an area that it just makes it very, very, very minute.
You bring up a really interesting point, and I don't hear a ton of business owners talk like this, but this is probably one of the reasons why you're super successful is you mentioned the word data. How much consumer research do you do, or do you evaluate before you say, we're going to be going to market with something?
I'm very transparent with you. God has guided me this whole way. I learned about data last year.
Okay.
We've been doing products since 2014, and God has guided me the whole way. I don't know if it's because I have an ear for my consumers. I don't know if the consumers are so supportive that they just want us to do, support everything I come out with. But I just learned about data, and data actually almost makes it a little bit more simple, because before it's, what should I do? Maybe I should do this. But then having like the cheat sheet in front of you and saying, hey, stylers are selling the most this year, so you need to come out with a gel, a cream, a custard, or this, that. It's like, well, damn, why nobody told me this?
Right. Yeah. It makes life a little easier. So I saw you also have a kids line.
Correct.
As well. So tell me, let's talk a little bit about that, because I think that's where the heart of hair care starts from when we're children and when we go into adulthood.
We do have a kids line. I'm like our kids line actually does better than our men's, and our kids line does better than some of our other products. I think it's because we're known for hair growth, and they understand that we have a very safe product that promotes hair growth for children, and then parents have difficulty in getting their children's hair to grow. And then you have the battle of, well, give your baby some time to grow their hair, and this is that and the other. But if a mama has been traumatized by cradle cap and watching her child's hair actually be on a pillow, then of course they want to give some nutrients to try to fix it or try to make it better.
For sure. And speaking of motherhood, I was reading that you're also a mom, so how do you balance that whole, career and being a mom, and what would you say to moms who feel like they're in a stagnant place with their dreams because, motherhood is coming to place?
Actually, I'm a grandmom now. So
oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. I had children really early.
Same.
I had my children at 15, 17, and 19. So now I have a grandbaby that is 9 months old. But in the pursuit of my career, my kids, and I can't say regretfully so, but I do wish I do wish I had spent a little bit more time with them. But now that they are at the age, they are, Mom, we were fine. We didn't necessarily lack anything. And plus they got to get everything that they wanted.
Right.
So if I had to give advice to a young entrepreneur mom, I honestly say take your baby with you if you can.
No, that's good.
I used to have I had one of my children on my hip doing hair. So he was spoiled. He would not let me put him down. So I would have him on one arm, like this, and was curling hair with the other one. So
yeah. And I feel like children are so resilient, right? I was also a very young mother, and, it was something in the beginning that like, it was difficult and I was kind of ashamed of for a long time. But looking back in hindsight now, my son is older and he's like, Ma, like we done been through a lot, but we did good, so I think there's,
it's almost like you got it out the way. not on purpose, not on purpose, but you kind of got it out the way. And you know what I feel like? I feel like a lot of people take motherhood almost as an illness, you know, like it should not be okay because you have children, you can't do this. No, because you have children, you should do this. Because you have children, you should go harder. Because you have children, you got to get out of bed in the morning. You got to stay focused. You got, you know, you have to go after your dreams.
1000%. And I do believe it's good to get it out the way, because I know a lot of people my age, they got to take a break to have a kid. And I'm just like, I just can't see myself taking a break to have a kid right now, you know?
You know, a couple of years ago, I think it was like a year or two ago, it was the thing. It was like a trend of everybody getting pregnant. And I was like, oh no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that again. No.
I'm not on that trend. Mm-mm. Right?
Mm-mm. No, ma'am.
That is so funny. So if you had to give an example of what some of the main driving factors are that have led to your success, what would some of those be?
I don't want to be too cliche, but probably a lot of people not believing in me. Not saying I didn't have a support system at all, but in the beginning for me, I was doing, like, there's the barter system that you hear about now, but I was doing the barter system where I would reach out to somebody that was popular and maybe do her hair for free a couple of times a week for exposure, give her free hair for exposure. And a lot of people frowned upon that, didn't understand that, try to tell me, oh, this person is using you and so forth and so on, not realizing that the whole time I'm pushing the issue. I'm the one texting the person to say, come. I'm the one, let's switch your hair. I'm the one, you know, doing all of those things. So it was almost, I'm not gonna say a point to prove, but it was almost like, this is what I want to do. This is what I see. I feel like I know I can make this. So there's no way in the world that I'm gonna let this fire in my belly be shut up by somebody else.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so. So what would you say the expansion of your brand looks like? Like, I know you have some other products coming out, but if you had to, you know, describe what even more expansion looks like for you, what does that entail?
Oh, wow. We just got into Walmart this year. So we're excited about that.
Congrats.
Thank you. I would love to see us in more stores, but it being strategic. Again, learning what I learned last year. We went in Sally's from like 80 stores to like 1,900 stores. And now learning the business of beauty, it should be more the demographic of, if out of 1,900 stores, 576 are our demographic, we should have gotten to 576. So for me, I feel like strategy and moving forward will get us to where we really want to be, and not just a fancy number because it sounds, you know, phenomenal, and it sounds like, oh my God, they exploded. You know, I've been doing this thing since 2014, and now that I know the playbook, it's like, oh, put me in, coach.
Right. Wow, that doesn't seem, it probably feels like a long time to you, but like that doesn't seem like a long time to, like, as far as like how far you've come. Like most people, it takes like decades and decades to kind of get to where you are. Like, that's impressive.
Thank you. I think a lot of my success came off from leveraging social media and understanding what that looks like. And I sell a hair grow product, and instead of saying, hey, buy this because your hair grows, I ran up on celebrities in real life and say, I've seen you got a bald-headed girlfriend, so give her this. You know, stuff that people pay attention to. So I'm great at entertaining somebody, but you're gonna get the message.
Right.
So I might recreate a music video, like we recreated WAP. And we called it Long and Healthy. We did the full set out, full build out, but you had to watch it because you were so interested in how intricate we went to make it look like the same exact thing, but you listened to the words too.
That's clever.
Words. And so the words, instead of it being, you know, the words that I can't say, it was long and healthy. And so then we have full rap skills, and it, you know, it, all of that to say, I like to drive my point across creatively. You have to watch it because you're entertained, but now it's stuck in your head. So every time you think about hair growth or regrowth, you think about the miracle drops because I'm now implanted in you.
That's like kind of like that analogy. You ever hear of Pavlov and his dog? There was like a scientific experiment where it was like the dog tasting the meat and ringing the bell. It's like that. marketing and advertising, that association people make with products. So like,
Yeah.
I totally get it. That's super clever. So I was going to ask you, there's a million like hair care products out there, and in any industry that someone's looking to get into. What is some advice or some tips that you would give that would help, that a brand should take to make themselves stand out and differentiate themselves from the competition?
Ooh, that's a good one. I feel like, and I hate to kind of be repetitive, but I feel like a lot of times people do comparisons. So they try to say, well, this person did this, so let me try it. I think if you're true to yourself, whatever that looks like my particular hair care brand is based around funny, it's based around comedy, it's based around a little bit of ratchetry. But then you have the people that have the bougie hair care line, that it might be women that have, their fingers with the, with the teacups or whatever. So I feel like whatever is true to you, whatever you can resonate with, you will be able to build a community around it. No matter what, at the end of the day, African American women absolutely love to do stuff with their hair, and if you have great products, but if you resonate with them and they understand everything outside of that, or you communicate with them, it's beyond marketing. You now have a relationship with this person. You now are feeding this person more than just a sale. It's not just, oh, they're your consumer. How are you bringing value to them? How can they look at you and find insight or find inspiration? Or here it is, it's not just about hair growth. It can honestly be about how they tackle their self-esteem. It could be about how they went through a breakup. Whatever it is that resonates with you, to me, should be your brand.
That's good. It just comes back down to being authentic and expressing that true expression of ourselves, just being real, because that's what resonates with people the most.
I look at, I have a friend of mine, Courtney Adelaide. She has The Main Choice, and she is so her true self. And her whole community is so that, like, she has this pose that she does, and I love her because that's who she is, and she loves to dress up, but that's who she is. And so the branding and the marketing behind it is very similar to the character of who she is and what she carries. So I feel like I look at all, because I pay attention to all the competitors. I pay attention to the brands that where they the face of the founder, and then I pay attention to the brands that you don't know the face of the founder, and so they'll have a personality as well. It's just the personality is done through marketing. And so they kind of keep the personality of what it started off as, of what the community what the community resonates with, and then they just continue it.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And that's a good strategy and a good tactic. If I had to ask you, what does success look like for Jessecas? What does that look like for you?
Oh my God. Success for me, a lot of people try to equate it with money, but to me, it's free time. And I can honestly say, not to bring up Clubhouse again, but I was in a room. It was 78 of us on the stage, 78, and
wow,
2 or 3 of them was billionaires. And listening to everybody's story, and they were like, "Oh, you work? Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah. How else are people making money?" And then understanding automation and all kind of different things. So for me, I think it's free time. I think it's actually having free time to enjoy life, whatever that is. I feel like doing at the time, having time to do that. So I'm trying to reach that pinnacle. I have not reached that pinnacle yet.
Time is valuable. Time is just as valuable as money, because we can't get.
Time is more valuable than money. Time is more valuable than money. You can always replace money. You can never get time back.
That's right. That's right. So listen, this was great talking to you. Where can people find more about your products, and where can they connect with you?
Oh, thanks for the plug. Kaleidoscope Hair Products is our Instagram handle and our Facebook. And I know that might be kind of tricky, so I'll help you spell it, because I know I had trouble with it the first year. Don't judge me.
It's all good.
KALEIDOSCOPE Hair Products. And if you're looking for me, I am the real BB Judy on Instagram and all social platforms.
Well, there it is. We just had a great conversation with the queen of hair herself, Jessecas Dupart. Make sure you tune in and listen to the podcast to learn more about all of the other Black entrepreneurs we've been featuring on this platform. Until next time.